Welcome to the Nosey Gardener, and here we're in Moultonborough with Lisa, and she has invited us to tour her garden. We're gonna hit the highlights. She is on a main road, but it's tucked back from the road with beautiful land all around, separate garden areas. So she's gonna take us a walk. Some things you want to add? Tell us, because we have bees, so we're gonna hit the bee hive area.
Yeah, the first thing you'll probably notice actually is that the lawn has two big patches of clover, white clover growing.
Okay.
And we intentionally planted that and then let it grow wild for the bees. And my partner just mows around it.
Mm-hmm.
And then when it dies, we'll mow it over. But it's usually this time of day, it's a little after 4, the bees have gone back to their hives, so we can walk through there. But we can see them flying around. Yeah,
so that's kind of why we picked this time of day.
Exactly. They're pretty close to home right now. So
okay, great. And yeah. Lisa said that they came here 5 years ago and started working on the garden 4 years ago.
Right.
So everything they've done here, they've done.
Right. Everything is new. The former owners had a small vegetable garden where my fence is. And we tried veggies the first year, but the soil wasn't great and there was just not enough sun. So we decided there's lovely farmers markets within a stone's throw from here. So
we're very lucky with that.
We support that locally and we plant flowers.
Oh, good. And that helps the bees. Okay, so let's take a tour.
Great. Stepping stones there, but really the front of the garden's up here.
Okay, let's start over
unless
here.
You want to start with the garden shed? Or?
Yeah, let's start in the we'll start in the garden shed because it's over on this side.
Yeah.
And did you build this too?
This was here.
Oh, that's nice.
When we moved in, and we did a few improvements to it. It's very humble. I paint the handles to all my tools so I don't lose them, which is a Martha Stewart trick.
That's a great idea.
So this just very humble, like I said, but it holds all my tools.
Yeah, I love it.
I made a little potting bench over here. So
that's really nice. See, a lot of people, it's amazing what you can do with just a...
Yeah. I mean, I just needed a place to put stuff. And
that's great. So what do you have here? Some type of succulent?
So these are some big succulent plant that was inside all winter. And I'm trying to, I don't forget what it's called, cure the bottom so I can repot them.
Okay.
Just realized there's beer out here. That's for slugs.
Oh, nice. And that does work.
Yeah, yeah.
This is great. And then you just have a bin here for your potting soil. I love that.
I just recycled this thing that used to hold I don't know what in storage, and I have gotten quite a collection of pots.
It's nice to have this.
Yeah, it's good space. And we coexist with mice in the winter.
Oh, right. Yeah, it's kind of hard to avoid. I love the garden tool idea with the colors.
I know. It's actually...
It looks great.
And it's pretty. Handier than you might expect. I always put them down in the grass and lose them. We have compost pile there, which feeds crows mostly.
And that's over here in this...
That's that little structure over there. That was there when we moved in. We seem to have a perpetual burn pile just because we shed a lot of branches on this property.
Okay.
But then just beyond the lawn is a little bit of a road. It hasn't been cleared in years, but a little bit of a hike out into the woods.
Okay.
And the woods are just beautiful out there. Lots of animals, lots of wildlife.
Do you have any deer problems here eating anything? Or?
They did eat some hostas, and they ate the top off of my phlox.
Oh, okay.
I don't know how they got in there. There's no...
They were specific.
They were very intentional. Yeah.
And the fire pit
and
location?
The fire pit, yeah. So
okay, yep, let's go.
The berries, these are both raspberries and blackberries. They're a labor of love for my partner. He actually acquired some plants from the man that's my bee mentor. So.
Okay. And did you... I'm asking for myself because I started with 4 canes one year, and now it looks pretty sad. So did he start? How did he start it?
He started with, I think, 2, and then the underperforming back row there, he moved some of those up front this year. So clearly it's an issue with sun, I think, but
So on that left side over there, it's not getting as much sun.
Just doesn't get enough.
So this is the 4th year then of them?
This is only the 3rd year.
3rd year. They look good for 3 years.
I think this is a good spot for them, and we haven't done any fertilizing or anything really to them. They're just happy.
Yeah, they look great.
And the blackberries were just a bonus. We didn't intend to have those in here.
And do you water them regularly, or you just?
I do. Whenever I water the garden, I make sure to hit the berries. Yeah,
that's nice.
Yeah. And this is the beginning of my garden, and everything is kind of organized chaos. I really don't have a design in mind. I just plant what I like, and I love the feeling of a big overgrown cottage garden. So I'm almost there, I think. Looks like it from my upstairs windows. But.
Oh, that's nice. Yeah, it certainly has that cottage feel to it with the picket fence in the back.
I just like it to be kind of free-flowing and colorful. My partner found this little lilac. It was a lonely little lilac at a nursery this spring. And we brought it home. It happens to be just a few years, a few months younger than our new baby granddaughter, whose name is Lennon. So this is now Lennon's lilac.
Oh, nice. And it's blooming now?
It is. It's a shrub variety. So I don't know what's really going to happen with it.
And it looks like it's, I don't know, maybe like 4 feet tall, 3.5 feet. Well, is it a dwarf size?
I think it will not get taller. Just
that's
bushier.
Pretty.
Yeah, it wasn't tagged or labeled. We just thought we'd adopt it. And I like that we put it right in the corner. It's kind of an anchor for that part of the garden. So that was happy.
And you said before we started, purple and yellow is your theme.
Well, in the front, and then back here, I find there's a lot of yellow. I've lately been trying to I added something that's red over there that I can't remember what it is. Some pink bee balm this year. I had a nice patch of red bee balm right in there, but it thinned out, and now it's, I think I see maybe 2 pieces that are coming back. Not sure why that happened, but I was hoping that pink one would encourage the others to grow.
Right. And this is the phlox here that the deer ate?
The deer ate.
Okay, but it's growing.
Nibbled right off the top. Isn't that weird?
And is this milkweed here then?
It is.
Okay,
and the milkweed, it just grows. I mean, it's a weed, and I just let it. If there are butterflies that are interested, that's great.
And then you put down the hardscape.
This was actually here. So isn't that weird? I mean, it was just kind of, when we uncovered it, it was just kind of here, and it was just grown up from there back. So
so that was the perfect way to utilize it with the table and chairs.
I guess if there was any way to design, it started here. It's kind of like.
And it's all perennials, it looks like.
All perennials. Yeah. Yeah. And pollinators. Almost, I think maybe everything is food for bees and butterflies.
Okay.
Pretty sure.
And it looks like you mulch. Do you mulch each year or?
Usually every other.
Okay.
This year was mulch year.
And then you have your herbs in boxes back there, raised beds.
Yeah. Most of the herbs are back there. There's also some.
Oh, right here. Yeah.
Some chives, some lavender, and this is a patch of catmint, which if I'm ever looking for the cat, he's right in the middle of it.
That looks like a very small leaf for a catnip. Must be a special variety.
It's
never seen one
definitely
small.
The mint family.
Okay.
And yeah, he rolls around in it all day long.
Does he? That's great.
Loves it.
And I see the coneflower and
some interspersed peonies that transplanted really well.
Oh, that's
I was
good.
Worried about them, but they did. They came back after about a year. And then there's a lot of lavender and sage around for the bees.
Just for reference, I'm trying to back up here to see. It looks pretty with the garden shed. And then what is this tree here?
I think it's a dogwood.
Okay.
Needs to be trimmed back. It's shading my lilies that are right there. I was going to do that today, actually, and I didn't get out here in the rain. What else was I going to say about that, though? Something. That was here. We didn't plant that guy, so I think it's dogwood.
So it's another good flanking between your...
Right, flanking. That's the word.
Right.
I have a friend who's in his 80s who challenges me every year to a morning glory war.
Okay.
And he's winning again this year.
Oh,
my morning glories are not doing well.
I like the stick trellis.
I know. I like the rustic.
Yes.
Just kind of.
So how far? It should be far along now. The morning
They
glory?
should be taller.
Yeah.
They should be at least starting to climb. I mean, I don't know what's causing the holes in them, but like that one's probably on schedule.
Oh, I see.
But
Right.
these guys, I don't think are gonna. He has a green thumb when it comes to morning glories. His are like up to here by
Really?
now. Yeah, it's amazing.
I know. I tried growing clematis or clematis.
yeah.
And everybody
know,
has
Sadie.
these beautiful, and mine are like up to where your bar is here.
Yeah,
Twig.
yeah. I have never had luck with that plant either. We can actually, if you want to, go in the apiary.
Okay.
It looks like the bees are hanging out. And the fence is live. So
Okay, and that's
how you feel
keep
about
the
that?
bear out?
Well, yes,
Okay.
hopefully.
I'm just going to zoom in on that
Sure.
first.
So the pink hive is bearding a little bit. That's why it looks like a swarm on the outside.
Okay.
And that's because it's so hot. That's how they cool down the hive.
Okay.
The white hive doesn't have as many bees.
Okay.
For reasons I'm not sure.
And then you just leave this all uncut and unmowed in here. It's really for their
Yes.
benefit.
It is. Last year they let me mow it with a weed whacker and they weren't bothered by it.
Okay.
Late in the fall, but then they absconded in November and we rototilled in here in the spring before we got these two new hives. So we just sowed a bag of wildflower mix.
Okay.
And this is what pops up.
Yeah, so tell me about how the bees left. And
so there's a number of reasons that bees abscond. Sometimes it's because of parasites, and sometimes they lose their queen, or sometimes you just don't know and they just leave. We were ready for winter, and it was the first week in November. I came out one day, they were fine. I came out the next day, they were all gone. And
they were just gone. They flew away, or they weren't dead in there.
They weren't dead. No, they
Okay.
all just left.
Huh.
Yeah. And we just had the one hive last year, so trying to this year and hopefully with better results. But
And then tell me about the honey and how you.
so the first year that you have bees, you leave the honey stores in their hive for them to live on for the winter.
Okay.
And then after that, you're building up your hive so there's more bees and more honey being made. So then you can start extracting that in subsequent years if you have a really healthy hive. I don't think I'll ever get to like mass production level. I just want to do a little bit for the environment, for the bees in general. And they're amazing to watch. They're just amazing to spend time with.
So what got you into that?
I grew up on a working farm.
Oh, okay.
And we had bees, and I wasn't really involved with them. But I was a 4-H'er, and I did a bee project, I think in 4th grade or something. And I just never really, I'm just fascinated by their magic and their science. And I just love them. So I feel very lucky that I have space and time. And
so have you seen any evidence of a bear getting in here, or
2 years ago, not coming for the bees, but we know they're in the backyard because we have a game cam out there and we've seen babies. And 2 years ago, those are blueberry bushes back there.
Oh, okay.
And that's a cherry tree.
Oh, okay. They love
that.
They
are both biennial, and they produce in the same year. And they're due to produce this year.
Okay.
So 2 years ago, we had bears eating all the blueberries, climbing up the tree, eating all the cherries.
Wow.
Not scared of us at all, but the bees weren't here. So I don't know what might happen this year. I hope they just stay away.
Right.
And the fence is supposed to be a deterrent.
And it looks great too.
Yeah. If they touch their little noses on the electric part, hopefully they think twice. But they actually are interested in the larva, not the honey.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
okay.
they want the baby bees.
Interesting.
Yeah.
And there's a chair in there. Do you dare go sit in there?
I do. Yeah,
okay.
I do sometimes.
And so they're gone most of the day?
They fly most of the day. There's always a few left behind. Not everybody leaves the hives, but the bees that are gathering pollen and nectar fly most of the day, especially on a sunny day. If it's been weird today, so I don't think they went far. If it's overcast or rainy, they don't usually leave.
Really? Okay, that's interesting.
But they actually, I just noticed, actually, this is what an amateur I am. They're not really foraging around in their own little space here.
Interesting.
I rarely see them in their own space. But I will see them like out front or in those patches of clover. They love that. And sometimes up here too. So
I see, I have some clover too, and I'm always seeing the bees there.
Yeah, that's why you see so much honey labeled sweet clover honey or white clover honey. They do love it.
Okay, great. Not to just go on and on about the bees, but since a lot of people are interested in bees, what would you recommend for a first-time beekeeper?
So I think the best advice that I have and that I've received and that I would pass along is to get a mentor, someone very knowledgeable and experienced, someone that will help you acquire bees, set them up, know how to inspect your hives. There's also a number of bee schools in the area. I think it happens in the winter. I think it's about a 6-week course. I'm not positive. But there's at least 2 in the area, and I did not go to bee school. But I have friends who did. And then, you know, it requires some diligence. It requires more attention than you might think, even though I tend to have a pretty hands-off approach to my bees. The people that belong to bee clubs, which is another thing would probably be beneficial, they tend to want to take care of the bees. There's another school of thought that says the bees will adapt if we don't treat them for parasites. But the parasites that bees are susceptible right now are destroying colonies. So you kind of have to figure out where you stand on that and how you want to approach it. But it's so rewarding. It's really amazing to just watch them and learn about them and their hierarchical structures and all their social things that they do is pretty incredible. So.
That's great.
And plant flowers that bees love.
Yeah, and this looks perfect.
Yeah, it's fun. I like it. It's my happy place.
That's good.
That's rewarding.
Right. So you get plants either by gift or, like you said, Walmart.
Lots of gift plants, yeah. I get lots of gift plants.
Do you divide things?
Absolutely. Yep. Yep.
All right, great. So we're going to go to the front garden, and it's nice with having a little fire pit here.
It is. We enjoy that.
And like I said, even though you're on the busy road, you don't even know it. It's so quiet.
It's
peaceful.
Really, yeah, very much more so back here. We spend all of our time back here, really. We have a tiny porch on the front, but it's very noisy out there.
Right, but it's nice to have a screen porch too.
Love the screen porch. I think that's a necessity if you can do it in New Hampshire.
Yes, for sure, with all the bugs.
Yeah.
And more grassy area and clover for the bees.
Clover. We have one of the things we've noticed about attracting, we have a lot of birds that come to this yard too, and bats, which both of those things help keep the bugs down, which is much appreciated.
Not that we're focusing on the house, but you had the porch done with this barn roof style lower rail. Oh.
Yeah, careful.
And I like that you kept the tree stump and then let things grow around it.
Yeah, it seems worthy. I discovered those fake wasp nests this year.
Yes, I've heard of that. Does that work?
Working really well.
Is it? Okay.
Yes, we've seen just a few wasps, but nobody's nesting or whatever they call it. They're not doing it.
And the stone runner thing, does that work for the water to come down? Okay.
Yeah, little rain chain.
Rain chain, thank you. And then what do you have here in this garden?
So this is sweet pepper bush, and this comes in pink and white, and we have, I think, six of them. There's some here and some around the corner. We discovered these on a weekend trip to Burlington, Vermont, and we walked by somewhere that had the mass planted, and they just smelled so good. They smelled so good, so I think we Google searched it to find out what they are, and we planted them.
So that's helpful when you see something and then it triggers you that that's a good choice and why you like. So that's going to bloom. So this looks like next month. Maybe?
This will bloom very soon. So because they get varying degrees of sun, they're in various stages of growth. But
sweet pepper bush,
pink and really pale pink and white. and so fragrant, and bees love them.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Love them.
Okay, so I see new growth on here. Do you just trim back to that in the...
I have not been trimming them.
Okay.
I actually, now that I say that, these two look better, and I did trim these two this year, so maybe I need to trim. They had gotten hit with weather, so I cut them back with all the dead stuff and propped them up.
But it looks like a nice filler plant for here.
Yeah, it is. And I have this, I forget what that's called, Pachysandra or Vinca.
Okay.
These are weeds. These need to go.
Right. But
spend some time out here. But
that's what it...
a nice little purple flower that blooms on there, and I love it as undergrowth.
And we already learned that Steve built this walkway.
Yep. There's some mint growing in here, which was left over from before. I know better than to plant mint.
I know.
I love it.
I know, me too.
I know better. It just started popping up when we dug it out.
And then lily here on the front, which you said is going to be yellow?
So these are all yellow lilies. Or my mother used to call them lemon lilies. I don't know if that was the color or the breed or the species, but they're yellow.
Right.
And then there's a few columbine in here that bloomed earlier. I kept the tag on these because I couldn't remember. Oh, a type of lavender cotton. These have little yellow flowers on them.
Interesting.
And then some delphinium. I had 2 delphinium that got wiped out by the rain. Oh, but I love the purple.
So pretty.
Yeah, they're so vibrant and beautiful. And then I accidentally, I guess, planted all of this, like 2 kinds of sage, 3 kinds of sage, and some lavender all together.
That's pretty.
But it's all purple, so that was
pretty.
kind of what I was going for. And there's Angus barking again.
Very nice.
Yeah, so that was my purple and yellow vision.
What is this plant down here?
That's a sedum.
Oh, it is?
Actually, yeah.
Oh, okay.
That had bright yellow flowers a couple weeks ago.
Okay,
and
now
bees love sedum.
Is this burdock?
I don't think so.
Okay. It looks like something that I'm always trying to get out of my yard.
Oh, not a weed.
Okay. It's very pretty.
That was purchased, and I always, every year when it comes up, I think I didn't plant a foxglove there, and I can never remember what it is, but I like it.
Yeah.
Also, bees love it.
Mm-hmm.
If it were early in the day, you'd see a lot of bees up here on this stuff. And I think that's wild geranium.
That's pretty, too.
Yeah.
And bachelor button, is that what that is too? This one here, that's
the little ones. Yes. Yep. Purple.
And that one grew over there.
Yep. Just randomly found its way.
And then you have a few containers.
I have some containers. We can keep going.
Oh, great.
Lots of hummingbird. 2 hummingbird feeders.
And what is this ground cover over here?
Angus the Airedale, everybody.
This
is violets.
Violet.
Yeah.
Okay.
Those are all violets. I randomly planted some. Yeah, they fill out. That's just beautiful. There's a mum that will bloom later.
Okay.
And I randomly planted some more morning glories. Randomly, hopefully. Little forsythia bush, the first thing to bloom usually.
Right. Yeah, I know some people have like a love-hate relationship with them. I like them.
I like them too. Steve doesn't like mowing around them, but I like them.
Yeah, and they're hardy. I think you can cut them back if you really need to.
Can't kill them.
Oh, the front porch. Well, I don't know if you call it the front porch, but it is front porch. It's cute.
Yeah.
Very nice.
And more yellow lilies.
And the impatiens, that's a good, it's more shady here.
Yes. Yeah, I just needed to fill in that space. I was late getting them in. I like it when they get to be big mounds.
Yes.
Takes a while. This is another little lilac that we planted only 3 years ago.
Okay.
And she clearly is leaning for the sun, but she's grown, I think, probably 2 feet since we had her.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Is that the traditional lilac with the regular?
Yes, tall.
Okay.
Yep.
All right, and then more, and you planted all the lily too, right?
Yeah. We just, so speaking of dividing, anytime something gets too much in the lily area, we just find new places to put them.
That's great.
We have that little mowed out shire down there that's kind of fun.
That's nice.
And adding some, trying to blend in some naturalized plants down through there.
Yeah, it has a natural buffer feel to it.
Yeah.
It's nice being so far off the road.
It is. Yep. We like that.
This is just a question. Is this your septic here?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, it looks nice.
I must say the lawn is, I don't care that it's full of weeds. I like that it's so green.
Yes, I know. It's nice and green. That's great. And I like your, did you make your twig structure here?
Did not.
Oh, you didn't?
No, bought that at Owen's Truck Farm in Holderness.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, has a little robin's nest attached to it.
That's
currently.
nice. Well, thank you, Lisa, for allowing us to tour your garden.
Thanks for coming for a visit.
Yeah, it was
Happy to
nice.
show it
It
off.
was nice to hear about the bees. So, and you said you started it from scratch. What was your inspiration for starting from scratch, or advice for somebody who's just going to start from scratch?
I think my only inspiration was I just like flowers, and I'm completely self-taught, and I think I had time, and I could just go at my own pace and learn things as I planted and figure out what worked where. I'm also not afraid to move things. If something doesn't look right in one spot, I used to think, don't touch it, don't move it, it'll die. But since I've not been afraid to do that, I've relocated a number of things successfully.
Okay.
So
that's good advice.
Yeah, that helps my eye. And I buy what I like. And sometimes it's something sad at the burnt nursery, or somebody's plant sale, or sometimes it's a gift of the pepper bushes, which is delightful. So I'm really lucky.
That's great. All right. Well, thanks very much.
Thank you.